So it's looking at your data where you're already collecting to see if there's stories that are being shared that may give you a hint of maybe you're not as far along as you think you are, right? It could also mean listening to your teams, your employees, and the qualitative, meaning interviewing, having conversation. That's why you need organizational self-awareness, developing that. And that means being brave to ask the questions and look at what the data is telling you, and listen to the stories you're hearing in order to determine if the culture you're trying to create or say exists is actually there. And that takes courage and leadership to say, we want to do this work. So it's not just about talking that you're doing a good job. It's actually assessing where you're at. So all that to say is that you need to acknowledge that we need to collect the data if we're not collecting it. If we do collect it, how are we evaluating and looking at the data? And then once we have the data, what are we doing to move the needle in the areas we've identified that we need to move the needle in? And consistently collecting data, maybe not on an annual basis, but maybe every 2 or 3 years, to see if there's been any change. It could be as easy as the way the leader facilitates their team meetings. Meaning, one, making sure everyone in the room at the meeting has an equal say in what the decision, input into the decision. And you're not just favoring the people who are the loudest in the meeting or who are the extroverts in the meeting. And it could be as simple as having people write their thoughts down on paper on a card and then passing them to you, the leader, and you look through them and share them out loud so everyone hears. So there's a little bit of anonymity, so that way people feel like I want to say this, but I don't want that, I don't want people to know it was me. Or it could be, hey, write down your thoughts, let's say 2 minutes, your opinion about this decision. And then we're going to have people share what they wrote out loud. And it could be as easy as you, the leader, saying, okay, before you walk into that meeting, what biases do I need to check for myself before I walk into this meeting? Do I tend to favor men over women? Do I tend to favor the person who sits at the end of the table versus the person who sits in the middle of the table? Acknowledging for yourself what are the biases that exist. So when you walk into that meeting, you are making every effort to give everyone equal opportunity to share their perspective. Those are some simple steps that most leaders don't do because they've picked up bad habits along the way of running meetings. And so it's as simple, it could be as simple as the way you facilitate or construct your meetings. Thanks for watching this video on what it looks like to become a belonging-centered organization. If you would like to share this with others, please do. But also if you want to download the Belonging-Centered Organization Framework, use the link in the description to receive a free download of the framework.